The Cowboys might have had the NFL's best offensive line in 2015, and you don't have to tell them what they won. 4 games and the title of NFC East bottom dwellers. Buffalo and New York probably had the league's best running backs and defensive line rooms, respectively, and it wasn't enough to topple the Patriots or make the playoffs. What's the lesson here, besides the importance of having quarterback stability? Obviously, it takes a village in the NFL. But since we won't know how they're coming together and perhaps more importantly falling apart for several months, let's take stock of what individual groups made the greatest strides since January. Hi, I'm Arkush with Pro Football Weekly, and here are the 5 most improved position rooms in the NFL this offseason. Number 5, Eagles quarterbacks. If nothing else, spending $43 million on their quarterback room in 2016 lands the Eagles at the bottom of this list. I'm sure they're doing cartwheels. Seriously, though, replacing Mark Sanchez with Chase Daniel and Carson Wentz is a marked upgrade behind Sam Bradford. Daniel knows Doug Peterson's system well, and Wentz, while we don't know what he knows yet, the former FCS champ is a much better prospect than Sanchez, with all kinds of athleticism and arm talent. We'll also assume for a moment Bradford actually was humbled by the way this offseason unfolded, and we'll see his best this season, a continuation of the second half of last year. Actually, we're not assuming that, but the original argument remains. Number 4, Colts offensive line. Andrew Luck's protection should be vastly improved with the pair of rookies likely starting on the offensive line, a telling statement on where this group was last year. But let's not sell Ryan Kelly, LaRaven Clark, and Joe Haig short either. Kelly's a plug-and-play center, capable of ascending similarly to Cowboys Pro Bowl pivot Travis Frederick. Luck will be more comfortable from day one because of the stability Kelly brings. We love Clark and predict it won't be long before his length and athleticism compel Rob Chudzinski to insert Clark on the right edge over Joe Wrights. And don't sleep on Haig, who protected Wentz's blind side at North Dakota State and has enough pedigree and the tools to factor in the right guard competition immediately. Number 3, Buccaneers cornerbacks. Lovie Smith's inability to force turnovers forced the Glazer family to turn the team over to Dirk Cutter and Mike Smith, spending a ton of resources in the process to improve a cornerback room that accounted for a measly 2 interceptions in 2015. Enter veteran Brent Grimes and 11th overall pick Vernon Hargraves, likely day one starters who will infuse confidence and provide a far better complement to Tampa's dynamic front 7 than last year's revolving cornerback door. We're not fans of Josh Robinson, but perhaps Smith can coax more from high-priced Altron Werner and Jonathan Banks in the competition for the number 3 role. Number 2, Texans running backs. Freeing Lamar Miller cost Houston no less than $14 million, but that's a reasonable price to pay to bury Alfred Blue and elevate Miller to the feature back role he's long deserved. Credit Bill O'Brien and his anonymous group of backs for finishing 15th in rushing last season. Now consider what Miller and lightning-quick third down back Tyler Irvin can do to bolster Houston's ground game this season. With J.J. Watt and, they hope, Jadeveon Clowney keying one of the league's most stacked defenses, O'Brien's objective is setting up Brock Osweiler not to fail, and that means feeding his newcomers relentlessly. O'Brien's Texans finished 5th and 1st in rushing attempts the past 2 seasons. Another top 5 ranking here seems imminent, but with a lot more efficiency and electricity than 3.8 yards per tote. Number 1, Bears linebackers. Forget most improved for a second. Even if Chicago's inside linebacking core wasn't totally dismal last season, and make no mistake, it absolutely was, Danny Trevathan and Jarrell Freeman will be in the conversation for the league's best inside tandem, period. Speed, instincts, physicality, pure playmaking ability, they were all absent from Vic Fangio's group last year. Now perhaps the game's best linebacker teacher gets the talented pupils he deserves. Even in June, the swagger and tenacity of Trevathan and Freeman has been one of the dominant themes of Chicago's offseason work. When placed behind a Bears defensive line that frankly also warrants consideration on this list with the additions of Akeem Hicks and Jonathan Bullard, something special could be brewing in the front 7. And that's critical given the questions remaining in Chicago's secondary and on its depleted offense. Oh yeah, he's in a different room, but speedy 9th overall pick Leonard Floyd certainly should be mentioned here as well. Giants and Raiders fans, did we slight your defensive line and secondary? All NFL enthusiasts, who did we miss? We'd love to hear from you in the comments section and by liking and sharing. For Pro Football Weekly, I'm Arkush. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed today's game plan.